What's going on YouTube? My name is GinJTCG or Chris, and today I'm back with a crazy Rotom Toolbox deck video. The new Rotoms that came out have an insanely fun attack, the Gadget Show attack, where you do 30 damage times 30 more for each Pokemon tool attached to all of your Pokemon. So if you get a full 6 Pokemon and play with tools attached to all of them, you can in fact swing for 180 damage. And I know before someone comments, hey, you can play this with Terrapagos and Area 0 and stuff and cook up a bigger bench. Well, actually, I'm working on a list right now that I think will be a bit of fun using Terrapagos, but for now, I kind of want to just stick with the weakness variant, if you will, of the toolbox. I'm trying to make this one kind of counter more of the decks. We don't need to swing for more damage with Area 0 because we could do enough since I'd say two popular decks right now. One of them is super popular on ladder and tournaments is Marnie's Grimmsnarl, and well, this is a grass attacker that could swing for Oko on Marnie's Grimmsnarl. So, you know, it's just a nice single price attacker. You don't have many abilities in play, especially in a matchup like that, so I think the matchup actually isn't too bad. You know, same kind of concept against Dragapult. We could use Lillie's Clefairy, we could use Mew EX, we can use Night Stretcher to retrieve Clefairy. You know, we're going to swing for weakness with our Psychic Pokemon that way, try to 2-4-6 our opponent, you know, utilize Lily's Pearl, make that Clefairy a single prizer. If we're up against Goldango, we got Heat Rotom with Gadget Show to swing for Oko, and if we got a Pidgeot on board, boom, Electric Rotom to swing for KO. And if there's some sort of crazy fire deck, like your opponent is, I don't know, playing Charizard EX and they've got a Gouging Fire in it or something, boom, Wash Rotom KO. The nice thing, which is why I said two popular dark decks, is Charizard EX is a dark type. So if you get a full board with Mow Rotom, you can take out Marnie's Grimmsnarl or Charizard EX because you do 180 damage multiplied by 2 is 360, which is also great into Cynthia's Garchomp if you're attacking before they get their tool and play that boost their damage, boost their HP by 70, which honestly is pretty possible. I feel like this is a pretty fast-paced list, and I know we're not playing any copies of Crispin, which you think could be amazing in this deck. In fact, I'm trying to utilize some other energy acceleration tactics that can draw us more cards, kind of set us up a bit better. One of those I want to talk about is Mela. I think this card is honestly one of my favorite cards to play, use. I think it adds so much to consistency of the deck to really any deck that plays it, and I think this deck can afford 2 copies of Mela, where you can only use it if your opponent's, if any of your Pokemon were knocked out during your opponent's last turn. Same thing with Hassel, which is the other one I'm talking about. I think both of these add so much consistency, so I'll talk about both at once. We're playing a single prize deck. Our opponent is going to take KOs multiple times, you know, much more than we'll get access to Fezandipiti with. Honestly, my goal is not to use Fezandipiti in this list. We just need some sort of draw sometimes, so Nest Ball and the Fez is nice, but in general, when you get knocked out, you could go with Mela to attach a Fire Energy from the discard pile and then draw up to 6, which can get you set up quite nicely, or Hassel, which you can look at the top 8 cards and put 3 of them into your hand, and the goal with both of these cards is to do one thing: get a Pokemon attacking every single turn. And I know you're thinking, okay, Mela makes sense. You know, you Mela, and then you manual attach for the other energy, since pretty much every Pokemon in this entire deck, well, we're not using Tatsugiri, but every Pokemon with the exception of Mew and Fezandipiti, and I guess if we're going Genesect, can attack, right? You know, for 2 energy. All right, Mela makes sense. How do you do that with Hassel? Well, you're going to do that with EXP Share and Counter Gain. You're hopefully going to dig those cards out. If not, you hopefully dig out an Arven or a Town Store. And then since you might be down that turn, you know, when you're using Hassel on prize, you might be down 1 prize card. You can just take Counter Gain or EXP Share to help kind of synergize and get the energy flowing. You know, if you're tied on prize cards, maybe you lean into the EXP Share so that when your opponent goes up, you're already moving an energy to a bench Pokemon with the EXP Share. Or if you're behind, you go into Counter Gain. And now it's a Counter Gain, manual attachment, boom, we're swinging, hopefully one-shotting anything in the active spot. So, honestly, I think, like, you know, that's why we're playing more Fire Energy in the deck. We've got a couple Psychic for Cleffa, but I think for the most part, we're running super consistent lines to get these energy flowing. To just add a little bit more disruption on top of playing a good single prize deck, I am playing Unfair Stamp. I think this is a pretty fun ace-spec to use, especially in a deck like this where you've got plenty of time to use it. You know, there's some decks where it's like, oh man, like I couldn't get it out. You know, I'm playing 2 prize Pokemon. My opponent just 2-4-6 me. You know, I barely had time to breathe. Well, we're playing a pretty much single prize deck. Yes, there are some 2 prize exceptions, but our opponent is going to spend a lot more time dealing with our deck and just playing through the match, so I figured we got way more time to utilize Unfair Stamp, get us a bigger hand, but also knock my opponent's hand down to size. Now, I am playing 1 copy of Rod and 1 copy of Night Stretcher. Rod, I feel like, is kind of nice, just in case, you know, you had to Ultra Ball away a couple Pokemon you didn't want to, you want to bring back an energy into Mow Rotoms in a Grimmsnarl match, you know, something like that. I like the availability of having 1 Rod, but I'm not opposed to going just double Night Stretcher and just doubling down that between EXP shares, Melas, and Counter Games, we can attack pretty much consistently, never need to recycle energy or extra Pokemon back into our deck. We just need a couple Pokemon out the discard to just keep looping, keep attacking, and keep our setup rolling nicely that way. So You know, I'm still kind of fiddling around with that idea. Again, I am trying to look, not look up a fun way to do this to Rapagos. I have like one way in mind. I just couldn't get it to work today, so I wanted to take it back down to the simpler version. But if you have ideas, like, please let me know. I've got some cooking. If you're in the Discord server too, definitely let me know there, because I would love to talk about it more in depth on what I got, because I think it honestly could be a pretty viable deck. I mean, it's a ton of fun, surprisingly consistent, and yeah, I mean, I feel like that's pretty much it. I think one of the other biggest things to mention is we got the Genesect with Ace Nullifier, since we're playing a deck where we're spamming a bunch of tools in play and all over Pokemon. I mean, we might as well shut down our opponent's Ace spec for it. And then, yeah, for more consistency, we got heavy Arven, heavy Iono, some Artazon to get our Pokemon down, some Town Store to search out our tools, and then one copy of Ditto, which kind of functions in the same way as leading Tatsugiri. Whoopsies, I just added a copy on the screen right there. Functions the same way as Tatsugiri with the track customers. This is our main setup engine, the Pokemon we kind of want to lead, get in the active, but on the off chance we have an amazing starting hand, I didn't want to play 3 copies of Tatsugiri. I wanted to play 1 copy of Ditto. So if I have an amazing hand, you know, where I have an energy, you know, I've got Buddy-Buddy Poffin, I really don't need to lead Tatsugiri. I can just use Ditto and go into Mow Rotom or maybe Heat Rotom and go for the Singe and try to burn my opponent's active Badoo and take an easy KO that way. You know, just kind of put that pressure on Badoo. I don't know. I figured, you know what? Ditto adds a little bit of fun, can get me out of a pivot in a tough starting hand, so might as well run 1 copy. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the list. So, you know, if you haven't seen the Battle VIPs podcast YouTube or Spotify channel, make sure you go check it out. Yes, it has its own YouTube and Spotify channel. So if you're looking for an amazing podcast done by one of my best friends and I, Avery, shout out Avery, you know, it's a great time. We talk a lot about, you know, meta decks, what's coming out, what's doing good, what we think is doing good. We always try to spend some time talking about rogue decks, since this is a pretty rogue channel that we've created here. So yeah, you know, make sure you go check out the Battle VIPs podcast and support the Draw Pass TCG team, which uses the YouTube channel kind of as its home to post some fun, you know, educational type videos just to help grow the community, grow the knowledge all around for new and experienced players. And yeah, with that being said, let's hop into today's deck and see if we can find some Marnie's Grimmsnarl for our Mow Rotom. Welcome to match number 1. We're up against Maractus, which already screams this could potentially be a Grimmsnarl match. But before we get into it, I just wanted to let everyone know there is a small chance that this video might just be 2 matches long, because my allergies have been destroying me in the past like 2 days. I am running on 3 hours of sleep between the past like 48 hours or so. My head is like pounding just from how much I've been sniffling and blowing my nose and sneezing. Where I live, we're on, what is it, like the air quality alert or whatever, just because the pollen is so bad. And you know, I'm newer to the area, not used to all the trees, so it's safe to say that I've been getting destroyed by it. So just wanted to let everyone know I'm gonna try to push out the 3 matches if I can, like always, but if there is a chance that this is only 2 videos, 2 matches, I apologize. And yes, it looks we're up against Marnie's Grimmsnarl. I'm just gonna try to, you know, be a little aggressive, get the Genesect down now. You know, they have Secret Box. Secret Box is always kind of a good play for my opponent. I really want to limit that if possible. But I am gonna try to do absolutely everything I can. So I think here I do want to dig. I do have Buddy-Buddy Poffin in hand, so there might not be too much of a need for that. The Mow Rotom is 70 HP, though. So, I honestly... No, here I need board. What? Do I not play board in the list? Did I forget board? Tell me I forgot board in my deck list. Okay, well, that might be a problem. Looks like we're doing this without Rescue Board, which is something I thought maybe that's why I had so much space in the deck when I was making it. I was like, you know what? Why do I have so much space in this? Like, I can literally do everything I want. I had 4 spots. It makes sense. I meant to put 4 Rescue Boards in here, and based on the look of things, it does not seem like I was able to pull that off. So that's a problem. And one I'm definitely going to have to figure out. Now, that Tatsugiri is most likely staying in play now because I could not retreat my Ditto. But you know what? Hey, it's fine. I'll just go double Tatsugiri. I know there's going to be so many abilities that are going to blow these guys up. That's fine. I'll get there when I get there. For now, let's just get every Mow Rotom I can down. Stop my opponent from playing any ace specs. And we'll go attract customers and see if I can draw myself, no, of course not, out of something. I literally cannot believe I forgot this, actually. That's huge. Well, that changes the list substantially. And I don't know if I really feel like redoing that intro, to be honest, to include 4 rescue boards. I think, you know what, we made it through the intro. We're going to see if it works, and if not, I will tell you guys what I cut in match number 2. I'll probably flash it on screen too, and the updated list will be in the description down below. Again, I'm just lazy and I really don't feel like redoing it. Totally my bad. I don't remember if it was a full 4 rescue boards I had when I made the list at work, or if it was 3. But I know there was definitely 3 spots where I was like, wow, there's so much space. It's because board isn't in it. Oh, Lord, whatever. Proves how much the headache is killing me. I can't even look at something I made, you know, on my lunch, while eating lunch at work, and apply that to a game I'm staring at with, like, infinite time on my hands. My opponent's going to set up their board. They're not really going to do much else, just pass 4 turns. So I think here, if we get to go Arven, go Earthen Vessel, that would be awesome. Just start getting some energy attached, and, you know, we got it like that. Why worry at all? Let's use Arven. Let's go Vessel. I'll probably get rid of Wash Rotom. Vessel's prized. Sweet. Well, you know what? That helps a ton, doesn't it? Let's take out another Charm, I guess, and I'll just hold the Unfair Stamp in case my opponent takes the KO. It seems we are going to be here a while, so I might as well just start attaching a whole bunch of energy every which way. I want to play some energy acceleration cards on these Mow Rotoms. I think for now I'm just going to boost the Tatsugiri HP on the bench and just leave this guy in the active in case it gets KO'd. Then I can Unfair Stamp, Mela, take it from there. We'll just pass it on over to my opponent, see if they can get the ball rolling for themselves. Now they can go in with Grimmsnarl this turn, and Frostlass too, and they do have Arven, so they can probably go Ultra Ball. And no, they go Energy Search, Bravery Charm. Okay, maybe they're going to take it slow. Going up Maractus, use Corner. I think that's fine, you know, I really don't mind. Even if my opponent gets a little bit ahead, you know, using their Frostlass, taking some KOs on Tatsugiri, Genesect, stuff like that, it's not the end of the world. They'll go TM Evo. Okay, so they'll get a second Morgrim and a Frostlass. Now, that's smart. Start getting some damage on Tatsugiri and everything. Again, not worried. I think this is a comeback type of deck. I don't think I'm sweating it too much. I think we're going to make it work. Even without Rescue Board, if I could have gone Rescue Board Vessel there, that would have been huge. Would have started getting an energy attached, would have started to do my thing. Even though I can't use Trimming Mower, I could just start setting up a Rotom to just OHKO a Grimmsnarl. Because again, my goal is to 2-4-6 this deck, and if they don't have Grimmsnarl in play, that means it's just Frostlass, Munkidori, maybe this Maractus. I'll deal with that when I get there. So my opponent's Freezing Shroud is going to go live, which means we're going to have to start worrying about Adrenabrain, but that's cool. I get another Arven. Man, I am really missing that Vessel right about now. I guess here's where someone tells me I'm supposed to play 2 Vessel, huh? Yeah, let's just take a Counter Catcher at this point. Let's just load up everything possible. Hold Counter Catcher in hand. I don't want to have that in play, so that they could boss KO, you know, the Mow Rotom with EXP share. I'll definitely take the Iono for next turn. I think I do kind of just want to see a new hand. Maybe get an energy down. I don't mind my opponent going up a prize or 2. Our counter game will become live. We just need 1 manual attachment on Rotom, and then after the EXP shares, the Melas, you know, we're fine. We just need them to KO something, so please take an Ultra Ball here. Ultra Ball Rescue Board, man. Get that Maractus out of here. Let us start soaking up some damage and start getting some chip damage done. They'll take the Night Stretcher, nothing else, and they'll take the Grimmsnarl out of the discard pile. Okay, so I'm curious to see if they do go for a corner and try to get some more damage down. They could KO Tatsugiri this turn if they do corner, because then it would put it at 40. If they Munkidori to Tatsugiri as well, that would be 60, and the Freezing Shroud ability will put me at 70 damage, if I'm not mistaken. Also, my math is totally going to be off on this. When I say I'm exhausted, running on no sleep, head pounding, like, this is going to be one of the videos of all time. So I'm really curious to see where this one takes us. But we got the Munkidori here. Who do you put it on? Maybe you go Genesect and you start loading it up. No, you're going to go Mow Rotom. Okay, that's fair. I mean, you know, you start getting some good damage on that. You probably can KO my Rotoms before I can do much. And there's the Rescue Board in hand, so you're just going to retreat going with Grimmsnarl. Fine by me. I mean, I've got Counter Gain, you know, down, so I'm pretty good here. You could move 30 damage to a benched Rotom, try to take multiple KOs at a time with Munkidoris. That would be pretty smart, but I think here I just want to respond with that, what? I mean, I don't want to Counter Catch or anything. I kind of like Unfair Stamp this turn. I don't even hate getting Fez down just to draw me 3 cards just in case, right? If I put EXP share here, let's take the gamble. Let's put the Fez down just to make sure I get the energy and I can swing for KO. You know, get enough tools in play too. I need to make sure I'm doing that more than anything this turn. I think we play Stamp. I don't necessarily need to Iono. Especially if I Stamp first, put him out a small hand, I can play Arven or something else. I get an Iono. Not ideal, but not the end of the world. I'll play Flip the Script. See if I can get Hassel would be, I think, the best supporter for us, and boom, we get it right here. And Ultra Ball, so I could actually go Mela and get the energy in the discard pile, but I don't think that'll be worth it for us. I think I kind of want to just Hassel and see if I could dig out. Town Store works. I'll gladly take an extra energy and probably another Hassel in case my opponent can respond with the KO, because then we have plenty of options between Iono and Mela. I like this. I like this a lot. How much are we swinging for now? We're swinging 240. Oh my gosh, are we just short on the KO? We might be, because I don't have 2 tools in play. I could get 1 more, which adds 60 damage and puts us at 300. Oh, but then they'll KO themselves with Frostlass. This works fine. This totally math this out so it would work this perfectly, because I've been able to think super well in this video. You know, just of course. So let's get another EXP share down, I guess. We'll smack an energy here. And then I think I just hold a hand. Don't need to use Ultra Ball. Doesn't really get me anything. We just swing 300. My opponent's got 2 cards in hand. Their Grimmsnarl is going to get KO'd from the Frostlass, which means they cannot flip the script, but they can start spamming Monkey Dories and looking for an extra KO that way. I, however, am going to take 2 prize cards and get a Psychic Energy out, which is pretty sweet. Always love to see that. I'm not going to be using Lillie's Clefairy this turn, but just having 1 more energy in the deck is huge, because this deck kind of revives off 1 or 2 manual attachments and then just kind of training energy across the entire board for the rest of the attackers for the game. And of course, I Unfair Stamp them into Night Stretcher so that they can get another Grimmsnarl down and take 2 KOs on Mow Rotoms this turn. That's not ideal, not the end of the world. This is why I play the 1 copy of Rod. I knew I had a misplay coming. My brain has not been working well enough today. They even got double Monkey Dory. Oh my lord, they can move 6 damage counters down. Could they take down all 3 Rotoms this turn? They actually might be able to, right? Because if they go double Monkey Dory on this guy here, they could KO it. No, they go, would it be better to do it here? Double Monkey Dory here. Actually, no, they might need a 3rd Monkey Dory if I'm not mistaken, right? Because then they do 30 to bench. So they could put 1 down on Mow Rotom, 1 down on the other Mow Rotom, but then Frostlass doesn't KO it. You know, all right, they might only be able to take out 2 Rotoms this turn, which is good. If they take out 3, they have 2 prize cards left. They'd just boss KO Fez, tell me to figure it out. That would be awful. It's fine though. We got Iono, so I'm not worried. And they got Spikemuth Gym, so they can start getting down another Impidimp, set up another Grimmsnarl line, which is cool. I think, you know, if we could just kind of run through their Grimmsnarls and dodge boss KO and Fez, we should be all right. They still can't use their A-Spec because Genesect is sitting there chilling. If they want to start targeting Genesect, that means my Rotoms are good, and honestly, that's fine by me. I think that would kind of work out a little bit better for us. Definitely wouldn't be opposed to it. I think here all I want to do is just keep some heavy Iono spam, man. You know, just keep their hand really small, keep them Ace-Spec list, and just kind of hope that they brick and they got nothing to do. I think here I do bump their Spikemuth into Artazon. Oh, actually, yeah, no, I have to do that, because if I can dig out my Rod, I'm really going to need it to then Artazon back a Mow Rotom, get another tool attached to it. Am I losing an EXP share and a Counter Gain this turn? Yeah, but I'll figure out the tools. We got a bunch in the deck. Those Rescue Boards would totally help a ton, though. I am going to get minimum 2 Rescue Boards. I think I'll probably cut one Artazon, or 1 Arven, excuse me, and maybe even 1 Artazon, to be fair. I think we could live with 2 stadiums. And then, I mean, I like Ditto. Ditto is pretty cool, especially if you put in the Rescue Boards. I'll do those for now, as the cuts is what I believe I had, and then I'll figure a 3rd out if I need it over the course of this video. Again, the correct deck list will be in the description. I can't believe I forgot those boards. That's such a shame. Because I literally got Pokemon stamped Rescue Boards right before this video for it, and then proceeded to make the deck list with that. So good job, Chris. But yeah, they got the Grimmsnarl attack. We'll see where they put the Shadow Bullet on. I think the correct play is the benched Mow Rotom, make it very easy to KO with Monkey Dory on the following turn, so that they can take 2 prize cards at once. Solid play from my opponent. I do have EXP share in hand. If I could top deck Rod, that would be huge. The chances of it, not high at all, but don't worry about it. We're fine. We're chilling. What do we got? What's our top deck? And it's Night Stretcher. That's fine by me. Hello, Mow Rotom. Welcome back. That is absolutely okay. We definitely need a manual attachment to our active We need an EXP share down here. We always go for the Stadium Bump, and I don't necessarily think I need to thin cards out of my deck. I think it's just more important that we try to make my opponent's hand small. Like, I don't need to play the Nest Ball, the Ultra Ball. I kind of want to just keep those in the deck for later. I do need Rod, but I've also got some big draw power. Counter Catcher, honestly not a bad card to have. Don't want to shuffle the deck. I kind of like how we've got a bunch of useless cards that we're not looking for on the bottom. I just want to go Fez here, see if I can draw into something a little bit better. Now, although this isn't ideal, we can 100% make this work just because they're Frostlass. All we need to do is swing 300, and I can 100% Artazon for... Actually, do I even want to Artazon, or do I just play the Heat Rotom? Like, I could Artazon, but I don't know if that does anything at this point. It would shuffle the deck, but I've got cards on the bottom of the deck I honestly don't want to draw into, although there is a Mela and a Hassel, if I'm not mistaken. Nah, no need to shuffle the deck. Although I could Nest Ball for Mew. That's not worth it. Let's just Heat Rotom. Counter Gain on it. I'm overthinking. We got nothing to do here, right? Okay, yeah. Oh, it was the blue on the Counter Gain. Wow, I really am a mess today. All right, let's go Gadget Show 300. Take another 2 prize cards. My opponent could definitely take a 3 prize turn if they have the absolute nuts. They would need a Rare Candy Grimmsnarl, as well as a boss on Fezandipiti. And then they would have to, which is they could 100% do, is Monkey Dory to the active. And I prized Earthen Vessel and Rod. So that's cool. I was hoping that Rod would be in the deck so that I could go for the epic Rod play, and it wasn't even in my deck. It was in my prize cards along with Vessel. That's sweet. I don't think I could have made more misplays in this video if I had wanted to. I am totally expecting to get ripped apart in these comments today. And I got it coming. I'm a day late on the video. I did not have the energy yesterday. I pushed off one more day, slept even worse, and then said, you know what, this is fine. We're going to record overtired, overworked, and this is just how we roll. Now, my opponent can go double Monkey Dory. They went 1. It seems they're going to try to load up damage on the Tatsugiri to take an extra KO that way. If they don't KO my active, though, they will be in a tricky spot. And I was going to say, KOing it with Monkey Dory is smart because I might not be able to get 2 energy down on Rotom, since the EXP share only works if it was KO'd from damage from an attack, which it was not. So I think the correct play for us here is to lead Heat Rotom. Or maybe, yeah. Because if they take another KO this turn, right? Could they? I don't think so, because this guy would go up to 100, and then they would take a KO next turn. Yeah, maybe we don't go Heat Rotom. Let's just go Mow Rotom. I don't know. Doesn't feel great. Crispin would be super nice here. I know people are screaming at me, why didn't I use Crispin? I was stubborn. I wanted to go for Mela. And, well, I'm still gonna try to go for Mela. But, yeah, definitely hurts without it a bit. I get Iono. Not the card I'm totally looking for, but not the end of the world. I don't want to stack the deck with anything with Rod. I don't mind getting another Mow Rotom back. I really do want to look for Mela. I know there is a Mela on the bottom of the deck for my Iono, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, there's 1. So I do want to shuffle the deck up. So let's play a Nest Ball. And I think here we go take out Mew. If they got KO, they got KO. I want to just make sure I can attack this turn, and this could potentially help me draw cards, which I think is infinitely more important in a situation like this, because they just KO'd something this last turn. So now let's go flip the script and see if I can pull out something better. There's the Mela every time, dude. We're so good. So we got this game figured out. Do they actually win next turn though? Because if I KO Maractus, we're actually maybe in a worse spot. Do I just wait till next turn and just let them go double Monkey Dory? They could KO Tatsugiri. They would still be pretty far from everything. You know, that actually may work better in our favor. It's just a wait a turn. Because the Exploding Needles would mean that they could KO my active, but then also KO this guy. Because we're swinging for too much. We're swinging 120. Maybe I should have let this guy and just gone for the burn. I don't know. Either way, we're going to Ultra Ball here. Probably should have rotted first, but don't worry about it. Get rid of this guy, and the Psychic Energy we really don't need at this point. I do have a Fire Energy in the discard pile. We don't need anything off the Ultra Ball. I don't mind the Mela here, or the Rod here, just to bring back a Mow Rotom or 2, as well as 1. You know, we'll do the Psychic Energy. Keep the Fire in the discard for another Mela, just in case. We'll go for the Mela to active. You know what I could do, actually? I could still burn my opponent. I could retreat here. no problem. So yeah, let's start on this guy. And then I probably should have attached this to active. I draw the Psychic Energy. Look at that. I'll hold the Fire Energy. Don't know why. Actually, no, we're retreating. We'll throw a Fire Energy in the discard. Again, always protect the Mela line. Because why not? Counter Gain never hurts. That's just a tool down. Then at this point, it is the late game, so we don't know how things will go. We do have a swing for 300 damage. Because Fez still does not have a tool. But that's okay. Because my opponent is burned. They do heal out of it. I actually don't know if that would have been relevant. They would have gone up to 80, 90 from Frostlass, and then 100. Yeah, actually, that might have been relevant. Because then I could have just KO'd them. They would have KO'd themselves on the return back if they were still burned. Oh my god, that could have been huge. Winning by burn with Singe. Alright. They got the double Monkey Dory play. Do they have Rare Candy Grimmsnarl? That would be nuts. If they do. And honestly, there's probably not much I can do if that's what they got. They definitely have game. Yeah, they KO active and then go into KO on Tatsugiri. They definitely got KO on Tatsugiri here. It's just where else do they go? They got 30 damage on the Genesect. Ugh. Man. And 30 more on the Genesect. So it's got how much HP left? 140? It's got 20 HP left. It'll have 10 HP after this turn. They're not going to have a 2-prize Pokemon in play. You know what? We might be cooked. Yeah, they just pass here. Tatsugiri will get KO'd. I don't have any way to pick up a Pokemon. I could KO Frostlass, actually. But then they just win with Monkey Dory. Yeah, I don't think there's anything I can do. Right, because I could go Counter Catcher on Frostlass if Frostlass doesn't KO Genesect. But that doesn't do anything because then they just Monkey Dory KO. And if I KO active, same thing. Genesect dies from Frostlass. There's 2 Monkey Dories in play. That's so close. I definitely misplayed. Not having board, I think, was the worst thing in the world. Not checking my prize cards destroyed me. I think that's just clips for match number 1. Unfortunate. But hey, that's 100% what I had coming. Let's hop into match number 2. Let me make the changes. I'm going to take out 1 Arven and 1 Artazon for 2 rescue boards. The correct list will be in the description down below. Anyways, let's hop into match number 2 and see if I can play way better against the matchup I was all hyped about taking. Welcome to match number 2. I'm up against Dragapult Charizard, which is going to be a very interesting and, in my opinion, a very fun match. One I definitely think we have the potential to take pretty well. I think in a situation here, I want to go Lillie's Clefairy and just get this guy down instantly. With Lillie's Pearl, that just feels good. I don't mind the Luminous attached to active so that I could go Vessel next turn and try to take a KO on a Dreepy. We're going to see. We're going to see what I can do. Let me check who I've got in play. What do I actually want to take even here? Do we go Genesect or do I go Mew? Can I make my hand small for Mew? I honestly probably could. So let me take that. Or next turn I might be able to. Is Vessel in the deck? Thank gosh, Vessel's in the deck, right? So we'll top deck a card next turn. I'll need something to discard off Vessel, which will probably be Heat Rotom. And then I could take 2 energy. I could attach a second one. Then there would be Hassel. Potentially my top deck and a tool, but we'll attach the tool. Yeah, actually I like this. I like this. I like the Mew play here. I think it sets us up pretty well. And if nothing else, I can go Trimming Mower. And that works. I don't think I need a bench Heat Rotom. I really don't want any wasted Pokemon in play. I don't know, just because of Dragapult, I mean, it could start spamming damage down on the Heat Rotom. I don't know if they're playing something like, I don't know, Monkey Dory Luminous Energy as well. Could just 6 damage counters on Heat Rotom plus 2 damage counters off the Monkey Dory, and we'd be cooked. That would be unfortunate. And I think I'm only doing 2 videos. I am so sorry. Or 2 matches. Because my head and body are just so out of it right now for literally no reason. They're going to Ultra Ball away Night Stretcher Counter Catcher and go in with Badoo. That is huge for us. Yes, Trimming Mower. I know it doesn't KO Badoo perfectly. That's all right. Because I could, you know, I actually won't be able to get a second energy with Arven. I won't be able to play that Earthen Vessel. That is not the end of the world. I can still use Mew, get a little restart going. They'll go Itchy Pollen. We'll figure our stuff out. They'd see KO Rotom, the KO Rotom. I'll still go in with Lillie's Clefairy. Especially if I could top deck an energy here. Oh my god, that would be awesome. And just get that thing attached. No, I get Super Rod, another unplayable card. Not the end of the world. But now Vessel's super dead. Right, so maybe I just take Unfair Stamp. What else could I do? I could take out a Rescue Board for Mew. No, maybe EXP. Counter Gain. I think I like the Counter Gain play here. And we go Vessel every time. Or Unfair Stamp. You know, we'll just try to disrupt them. We're going to be behind probably a couple prize cards this game. Not the end of the world. We'll make that comeback when we got to. Let's go Counter Gain on Mew. Even if I play the Heat Rotom, I'm still kind of cooked. Can't really go restart, sadly. So I'll have 3 cards, 2 items, 1 supporter in my hand. I think I'll just swing for 20, put some pressure on Badu, and see if my opponent has a Rare Candy Charizard or a Rare Candy Dragapult that they choose to go into. We see the Dracloak. What did they take off the Jacques last turn? Because we know they played the Jacques, right? Yeah. They drew 2 cards. And it was Dragapult EX. Okay, so they're taking a little bit of time to go into Dragapult. Couldn't they evolve last turn? We went first. That was their first turn. Okay. Makes sense. They're going to set themselves up a little bit slower. Keep the item lock pressure going. That's fine. Because I got a banger of a play coming down with Hassel in the following turns. We'll see what I can draw into here. I'm taking a prize card. I get a Rescue Board. Honestly, not bad. We'll go Trimming Mower. We know that they've got Dragapult EX in hand. If nothing else, they've got Jet Headbutt for KO, and there's no chance I could set up Lillie's Clefairy unless I top deck Mela, which isn't super likely. I think we might just have to set ourselves up for as good a 2-shot KO as possible, maybe even with Heat Rotom, and that's assuming I could even Mela with the Fire Energy in the discard. I don't actually have that right now. This Luminous Energy is causing some problems here, man, because I can't EXP share it. It doesn't really work with Mela. It's just kind of there, and then it's gone, and it didn't do much. I guess it allowed me to Trimming Mower for KO and get Town Store, which is pretty big. I mean, it's hard to hate on that, but I don't know. You know, they take a KO, I go Unfair Stamp, so I guess it's not the end of the world, right? We figure it out every time. They got the Rare Candy Charizard, so they can get 3 more Fire Energy in play, but that does not get them the Psychic Energy needed to take the KO with Phantom Dive, which would be the attack I'd be much, much more worried about, because then they would do some massive damage to my Mew and my Clefairy, and that doesn't feel great. I'd rather them not, and they're actually potentially going to retreat into Charizard. So now Heat Rotom's looking better and better. So just get a little bit of chip damage done, because it doesn't seem like I'm going to do much of, well, anything else. I mean, my opponent can Burning Darkness for 210 damage, which is enough to one-shot any Pokemon I have in play. That's fine. I mean, it doesn't feel great, but if that's where I'm at, that's where I'm at. We will top deck a Nest Ball, which is huge, actually. I really don't mind getting Fezandipiti here just to draw me 3 extra cards. I think this is a situation. I know we have a lot of... We'll have 2 2-price Pokemon to play, or I could go Genesect, actually. Wait, hold up. Because then I could just put the board on Genesect, call it a day, tell them they can't play their A-Spec. You know what? Let's do that. I don't even need a Fez. Fez Schmez. Let's go Town Store. I could play Heat Rotom. I'm tempted. I am tempted, to say the least. Let's put it down, just in case, right? And then I think here we go Unfair Stamp, see what I draw into. I don't necessarily want to Hassle. If I could get Ultra Ball Fire Energy and go Mela, that would be awesome. I got Ultra Ball, don't have a Fire Energy, and, well, I don't have Mela either. So, yeah, I guess that's that. Alright. So what do? We go Hassle for... I think I'd definitely just retreat into Heat Rotom when all is said and done. Let me Hassle now? See what I can pull out, and then I'll Town Store for whatever I need. Buddy-Buddy Poffin, Mela Fire Energy. I have never seen more perfect cards in my life. Sadly, I can't Mela this turn, though, because I did already play a supporter down, but that's okay, because I can Town Store for an EXP share. I can retreat into Heat Rotom. I don't necessarily need to play... Actually, no, I think we go Counter Gain here, because they'll be up a prize card. I'm not taking a KO this turn. I like the Counter Gain play a little bit more. I don't think I would need to Singe, right? Could have Ultra Ball, but I don't really have 2 great cards to get rid of. I will need 2 tools next turn, so I'll need to dig pretty deep. I don't mind Singe, though, because if they stay burned twice, we only need to swing 300, and we did learn, if anything, from match number 1, swinging 300 is way easier than swinging 330. So we'll burn here. So if I get a little lucky, see a Tails flip, because then all I need is 1 tool. And no, it's a Heads. Okay, so that didn't feel too great at all. Oh, well, here we are. We'll see what my opponents... Yeah, they need something perfect for next turn. That is for sure. I do need to stack up an extra manual attachment on this Clefairy at some point to deal with Dragapult as well. So, you know, the sooner that could happen, the better. They'll go Town Store and fail it. They've got either no tools in their deck or their tools are prized. They got the one Recon Directive, which can draw them a slightly bigger hand. They got one extra card to play with, and it's a Defiance Band. That's nuts. Either that or it was already in their hand, and that's why they failed their Town Store. But seeing that they played Town Store, failed it, and then instantly played Defiance Band after a Recon Directive, I think that was already in their hand. I don't think I know what they're drawing. And they're going to go Boss for a KO on the Mew EX, allowing them to go up 2 more prize cards. Now, that's kind of insane. I'm going to need... Oh my god, I can't even Mela this energy. Well, if I've ever needed a manual attachment, now is the time. We definitely go Iono here. I need to draw every card I can, or I did not play Earthen Vessel this game. I could go Arven for Vessel, right? I don't hate that, to be honest. I don't hate that at all. There's Vessel in the deck. We definitely take EXP share here. Check if Vessel's in the deck. That does guarantee it. Whereas Iono does not necessarily guarantee RKO. Which does feel pretty bad, in all honesty. But, like, I also could get Fez here. But then they do have... do I even want Fez in play? Let's see. They'll draw a card off top deck. That would be 5. And then a 6 card will be off the Recon Directive. If we could take a KO here, we tie it up at 3. Out Fez in play, it feels kind of nice. Yeah, I think I'll just hold the hand. We just go Arven here for Vessel. We'll go Vessel and maybe another EXP share. Just get as much energy flowing around as absolutely possible. We'll Vessel away Rotom. They're not playing Pidgeot, at least not at a point at which I care. I'll definitely take these 2 energy. I'm going to need the Fire Energy on active, so I can swing for KO. We're swinging 240. Oh my gosh, wait. No, we do need literally 1 more Pokemon in play, don't I? Yeah, I might have to Ultra Ball for Fez and just hope I get a tool as well. Because I'm not swinging for KO right now. They didn't stay burned. I could Counter Catcher up Dracloak. It doesn't feel great, but if that's what I have to do, that's what I have to do. I think here I get rid of Mela Iono. Feels awful, but I definitely would need the Counter Catcher if this does not work. If this Fez play does not work out. I need to flip the script into a tool. If I don't flip the script into a tool, I've sold, and that's fine. How did I end up clicking on Town Store? Yep, I didn't. Well, here we are. Gosh, yeah, no, I cannot whiff a KO here. I need to take out their Dracloak with energy, call it a day. Swing 150. They take a KO on my active, the energy gets moved to Mow Rotom, then it can manual attach an energy. We're good. Like, we're okay. It doesn't feel great. They'll drop down to 2 prize cards. If I could pull off a KO on Charizard to get more tools in play. Oh my god. I mean, I would get access to Flip again. Flip the script, and they bump Town Store. Oh no. Now things are terrifying. If I could get Hassel or Iono, we might be able to dig ourselves out of it. But I have to say, Hassel's the one I really want in this situation like this. They go for another Badoo. There's in no way do you Badoo me, right? You take your KO, you got 2 prize cards, you got Jacques to get double Dracloak down. Okay, well, losing Iono hurt. Now Iono feels awesome. This is a mess. This is a nightmare. Oh my lord. This is just about how my day's been going, though, to be honest. And today, it's been a rough one. It's been a struggle. I have not been able to get my life together. Pollen is kicking my butt. I've taken more Allegra than anyone's business. It's following me in the game with Itchy Pollen. And the matchups that I was looking for, Charizard and Grimmsnarl, are the ones that are kicking my butt right now. So let's throw an energy down on Mow Rotom. So that if I could get 2 tools, a Pokemon and a second tool, we're golden. Let's throw Mow Rotom in the active. I've got this. We're so good right here, right? We don't worry. I do have Boss. That doesn't truly help me. To be fair, neither does Artazon. I kind of do need another Mow Rotom, I think, just because we need a Pokemon, though. I do need to go Genesect. I could always Rescue Board it. This is fine. Like, it's whatever. And I just thin 1 card out of the deck off that, and then I flip the script and get a big supporter here every time. Literally no worry. We'll attach an energy to the active because, well, we have to. And then I will go Iono, and I either draw into 2 tools off this Iono, or I probably lose the game. I get 1 tool. Ew. Well, that doesn't feel great. Oh my gosh. Maybe it's a skill error. Maybe it's me, right? He's whiffing the KO here. They drop down to 1 prize card. I guess, you know, there is a world where I could do this if they don't have the perfect way to set up. God, that feels so bad. 10 damage short because I flipped Tails on a burn. Well, Gadget Show for 300. Cannot believe that. Cannot believe how close, yet how far we are from turning this game around. If I took a KO there, they'd have 3 Fire Energy in the discard pile. They would need the most insane play to pull, I feel like, this game off. I feel like we would have felt so good. But no. No, here I am. And they go Boss on Clefairy, which is surprisingly only a 1 prize attacker. If they took Fezandipiti, they would have just won. So, you know what? Sure, dude. If that's what you needed to do. Oh, man. All right, well, we've been given our redemption arc. Now, how do I make this work? We definitely rod back Clefairy, and I get the Psychic Energy, too. You know what? If they have Boss and Clefairy at this point, whatever, man. Whatever. I do need to flip the script before I Arven, though, so we'll take back a Clefairy and a Rotom, honestly, just in case, and call it a day. I really don't need more than that. We'll flip the script just to draw 3 cards here so that I could Ultra Ball 2 of them away and just go in with a manual attachment. And I do get Arven, too, which is pretty cool. Okay, I think here... Let me Artazon. Let me see what tools are left in the deck, because the EXP share could be pretty big. If it is... No, we've got Charm, which is actually huge on Clefairy, because then it stops it from getting KO'd. I do like that. Alright, let's go. Let's keep the Arven, just because Hassel doesn't guarantee perfection. Let's get rid of these. I didn't get Iono, so I can't Iono them to 1. That would have been awesome, too. I don't even know if I have Iono left in the deck. We'll go Arven, and off Arven, we will take a Bravery Charm and a Night Stretcher. I don't know. That feels decent. And then we'll do this, and we will Charm it up and swing 300. And if they have an energy, and I guess we could have retreated into Heat Rotom just to dodge Jet Headbutt, because that's probably the most reliable way my opponent could take a KO. Right? And we get a Mela Wash Rotom. They go Badoo. It's a free retreat Pokemon, so that honestly works. So what do they need? They need Dragapult EX and an energy card. If they could just do that, which really isn't a lot, especially when they're looking at 4 more cards from their deck off their Recon Directive, they got game. I definitely should have retreated into Heat Rotom, gone for Singe to KO, because then I would have 80 HP in the active, and that just feels a little bit better, because they wouldn't get the Jet Headbutt play. So we'll see. They got 1 Recon Directive, they got the other. They got a full 6-card hand. Do they have what they need? There's the Dragapult. Oh my god, tell me I should have gone Singe. And there's Crispin. Okay, so it doesn't matter. You're swinging 200. Wait. Oh my god, it was just for 1 energy. Be for real. Be for real. You don't see the KO, though. You itchy pawn, right? Yeah, every time, dude. How do I do this, though? My Boss is in the discard, isn't it? No. I had it at some point. Now it's gone. Well, you might not have Fire Energy to do this. So I think what we do is we retreat into Clefairy and swing for KO. Right? Because you might not have the Fire Energy needed, and you can't play your Ace back. This is probably our best bet. And just Full Moon Rondo for 180. Oh my god, yo, the misplays my opponent has are insane. I'm not complaining, though. If this is how I need to get my win today, this is fine. This is totally acceptable by me. Hey, Counter Gain. You know, I really needed a tool like a couple turns ago. Do you have Night Stretcher or another Crispin? If you do, you got game. If you don't, all I see is a Jet Headbutt. You got 1 Recon Directive. You could look at 2 more cards. There's the Recon Directive. There are 3 Fire Energy in the discard pile. And that is so important. Actually, there's 4 Fire Energy in the discard pile. Yo, they need Rod or Night Stretcher. If they don't have either of those, they don't got it. They don't got it. Arven would do as well, because, you know, that just guarantees them Well, actually, they played Night Stretcher. Ooh, if they don't play 2 Night Stretcher, if they play Rod, they go Boss on Mew. Or excuse me, Mow Rotom. Yeah, that was a good game. That was close. Unfortunate. So unfortunate. My opponent hit me with the shrug. That's crazy, dude. Wait, no, thumbs up. that was a rough game. I deserved that loss. It's 0-2. 0-2, I apologize. I would love to get a third match in the video, but my head is on fire. I have nothing left, and I need to probably lay down. I will be revisiting this deck in the next probably 2 weeks or so. I will probably be playing Terrapagos in it. If you have ideas, let me know. I apologize again for the misplays, the mess with the deck list and everything. The correct list will be in the description down below, of course. But I apologize. Yeah, it's been one of those days. I hope you guys can understand. I appreciate y'all for sticking with me through thick and thin. I mean, y'all the best, for real. So thank you so much. With that being said, stay epic. Peace.